So when you start an SMMA, guys, I know one of the most challenging things you can actually do is pick your friggin' niche. You don't know what niche is a good niche to go after. Should you go after multiple niches at once? What are you actually gonna offer this niche? In today's video, I'm gonna break down the top 6 niches for 2023, especially if you're a beginner, guys. So definitely stay tuned. And before I jump into this, just to let you know, guys, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, so you help me with all the, YouTube algorithm craziness that's going on these days. Anyway, long story short, we're going to jump straight into my computer so I can actually break down, first of all, how to identify what a good niche actually is, what niche you should go after, the best niches that I keep seeing recurring kind of over and over and over again from the end of 2022 into 2023 and beyond. I'm just going to break down exactly as well what the criteria are for a good niche in general. So let's just jump straight into my computer. So long story short, we've got a whiteboard here first and foremost. Now guys, forgive me, my handwriting is going to be very terrible because I'm obviously using my mouse here. So first of all, let's actually talk about the actual criteria. Jesus Christ, this is going to be absolutely horrible, but long story short, let's talk about the actual criteria of what makes a niche a good niche. Now, first of all, I want you guys to pick a niche that's obviously going to grow over the next 1 to 5 years. So that's a given, guys. Now, let me give you an example. I was reading a book not too long ago. I think it was a book. I was listening to a podcast or just some sort of YouTube video, and they were explaining something to somebody else about how a client of theirs was trying to start like a business in a niche that was actually declining. And the actual niche was newspapers. So newspapers is a niche right now that's actually declining because more and more people are using online digital means to actually get their news. So people aren't actually in this niche too much, and newspapers are actually dying, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So number one criteria for your niche is that you want it to be a trending industry that's actually going to grow over the next 1 to 5 years. So if you have a niche that's growing over the next 5 years, give this a big tick. So things that are growing are obviously like e-commerce, but by the way, e-commerce is a very difficult niche to get into if you're a beginner. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm just saying that it actually can work if you are an expert and you know what you're doing. But I'm going to leave e-commerce for now. I just want to talk about the criteria. The second criteria that I've got is that you want there to be enough businesses. You want there to be enough businesses so you can actually do ample outreach. I'm just gonna put OR here. Again, this is terrible, it's a terrible R, but you guys know I don't care too much about the quality of the production quality of these videos, as long as I'm getting my point across. So if there's enough businesses to reach out to, that indicates to me that it's actually a good niche as well. So you need there to be, it needs to be a trending niche, so the actual industry is going up itself. Don't go into a business that's dying, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Don't go into a business that's dying. This is one of the things that I actually stay away from, kind of like businesses that are actually dying or industries that are dying. Also, you want there to be enough businesses so you can actually genuinely do enough outreach. If there's not enough businesses, you're not going to do enough outreach. If you can't do enough outreach, you're never going to get enough clients. Again, whatever, I always say this on my YouTube videos, but like whatever number you think you need to hit in order to close one client. For example, if you think you can close a client every 250 outreach, just times that by 5, and you've probably got a closer number, as in how many outreach you need to do in order to land one client. So what you need to do is multiply out, right? So let's say it takes you, I don't know, 1,000 clients, 1,000 outreach to land one client, right? So then you need to do 1,000 outreach to land one client. Very simple math so far. Let's say that each client you close is at like 1.5K revenue, and then out of that you make $1,000 profit, right? So if you want to get to 10K per month, then you need to do at least 10,000 outreach. So if your niche doesn't have at least 10,000 businesses in it, then it's probably not going to be a good niche for you. That's one of the criteria as well. That's very important, actually having a logistical number behind it. The third criteria is that I want you to pick a niche that actually has a high kind of like ticket or high, what you call customer lifetime value. A high customer lifetime value. That basically means that the businesses you're going after, their actual customers are going to spend a lot of money over their duration of being a customer to that business. That's basically what that means. For example, a real estate business or a real estate agent will have clients, and those clients are worth a lot of money to them. Now, it's difficult to get a real estate agent, actual genuine revenue because when they get a client, when a real estate agent gets a client, sometimes it can take like 6 to 12 months to convert. So that leads me on to my fourth criteria. Try to find businesses where their customers are ready to actually buy now, or they're not looking to shop around. For example, a good niche would be like elderly, I don't know how you spell it, elderly homes basically. I'm just gonna put elderly homes. Forgive me, or elderly houses. Elderly kind of like I don't even know what you call them. I think they're like old people homes. I believe they're literally called old. I think the actual derogative term for it is like old people homes. Old people homes, you're not really going to be shopping around that much. And if somebody's old and their health is deteriorating, you want somebody in care quite quickly. You're not really going to wait 6 to 12 months to put somebody in an elderly care home. But if you're buying a new house, sometimes things can go wrong or the economy is not too great, and it might take you another 12 to 18 months just to make a decision on whether you actually want to buy a new home, which is why it's actually difficult to get real estate agent clients, results and whatnot. Not saying that it doesn't work, by the way. I'm just saying that, these are the criteria I look for. Number one, a growing industry. Number two, enough businesses in the niche so you can actually do ample amounts of outreach to actually land the amount of clients that you want. To get to 10K, sometimes you might have to send 10,000 emails or even 20,000 emails. So that you need there to be at least 20,000 businesses in that particular niche, which most niches there actually are. If you're in a niche that doesn't have at least 20K businesses, then you probably might have to get out of that. The third thing is you want it to be a high ticket or high value service that your client actually offers, aka some sort of service that somebody pays maybe long term, or just something that has a high customer lifetime value. And the last thing is you don't want it to take long in order for somebody to go from a stranger to actually becoming a paying client with your actual client themselves. The conversion window is what I'm trying to say. It's actually called the conversion window, or the funnel. It takes them how long to go through the funnel. So those are the criteria. Now that we've got the criteria, let's actually talk about picking the actual niche itself. So first of all, that's the criteria. We've got that down pat. So we can tick that off. That's down pat. Number two, what we want to do is think about now, how do you actually pick a niche? How do you pick one? Like, what's the actual process of picking a niche? Because you might have gone through this criteria, but you're still left over with like 4 or 5 different niches that you might want to go after. Well, I've actually got this thing when it comes to picking a niche, right, called the reverse market approach. You want to go backwards. You want to work backwards in order to work forwards. And here's what I mean by that, guys. So if you're picking a niche, right, you don't just want to pick a service and then force that service down your niche's throat. This is not what you're supposed to do. And a lot of people do this. Let me explain what a lot of people actually do when it comes to starting SMA. First of all, they're probably in school, or they're in a job, or they're working something, and they're running away from the 9 to 5 route. They want freedom. They want that location freedom. They want time freedom. They want financial freedom. And they also probably are in college or in a job that they don't like, or they're going to be moving into a college or a job or university, and they don't want to do that. So what they do is they start Googling or YouTubing like how to make money online, right? And they come across the same cliche business models, such as like drop shipping, Amazon FBA, crypto trading in general, maybe even real estate. Real estate's not really a good business model to get into if you're completely broke. And they come across all these different business models, right? And they normally pick drop shipping or some sort of e-commerce business where they're actually getting products from China and they're trying to sell them for more money, and then they keep the difference basically. So aka drop shipping 101. I've had so many conversations with people with this, and this is what I did, by the way. They end up starting some sort of drop shipping business or some sort of online arbitrage business where they're getting products from China and they're trying to sell it over into the US market, and they're going to keep the difference, or the UK market. That's basically what everybody tries to do at the beginning. Well, most of the people. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you probably did something similar, or you thought about doing something similar. The reason why people pick this particular business model is because they're normally shy. They don't want to speak on camera or even speak to somebody directly. They just want to click buttons on a computer and make money basically. And not only that, but the gurus in these particular industries that are selling dropshipping to you make it sound way more easier than what it actually sounds. So then you end up going to YouTube and going back to the drawing board, and you end up coming across SMMA. And you come across the same cliche gurus. I'm not going to mention any names, but these guys have got like thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. And you end up just saying, hey, look, I want to start this SMMA agency. And you end up picking Facebook ads. This is exactly just because the guru said so. The guru just mentions that they do Facebook ads. Then you end up just picking Facebook ads. And then you go to a random niche, probably something similar to what they mentioned in the video. And then the fifth thing you do is do cold outreach. And you offer the same guarantee that everybody else does. Guarantee. There you go. You offer the same guarantee as well. And then you wonder why you can't get clients. The reason why you can't get clients is because all you're doing is you've randomly picked a service, you've then randomly picked a niche, and then you've started forcing that service, which is Facebook ads, down the actual niche's throat by reaching out to them via cold outreach, such as cold emails, cold calling, or just cold Instagram DMs, or basically it's cold. And then you offer the same guarantee that everybody else offers. And then you wonder, like, why can't I actually friggin' get clients? This is the reason why, because you're just doing the same thing that every Tom, Dick, and Harry is doing. Again, guys, forgive me for my absolutely terrible handwriting. So what I've actually found to rectify this is what you call the reverse market approach. RMA, reverse market approach. What that basically means is you pick the market first, because the market has needs, wants, and desires. Those needs, wants, and desires are literally what gets you your service. They tell you what your service should be. AKA, let's say you go out to, I don't know, I'm just gonna randomly pick e-commerce because everybody knows what e-commerce brands are. But again, I'm not just necessarily saying that's a good niche. But long story short, you might find that the need for e-commerce brands is that they actually want more customers. So that's a need, a want, and a desire, kind of like wrapped up in general. And then what you would do is you would figure out how to actually go about delivering those more customers, and that gives you your service. So what I'm trying to say is you don't just pick Facebook ads and then just force it down the e-commerce industry's throat. You don't do that. You don't want to ever do that. What you want to do is you want to identify a niche first using the criteria above, and then figure out what their problems are first. And then what you do is you figure out a solution for that, and that solution is your actual service. You see how it's backwards? You pick the niche first, you identify what they're actually struggling with, and then you build your service around that, whether you can do it or not. AKA, you might see that accountants, you might go to accountants, right? And you might think they want Facebook ads, but realistically their problem might be their local businesses, and they want to move their business online. They want to move their business online. So what you can do as a service, now that you've understood accountants, is you might be like, you know what, Facebook ads is not even what they truly need right now. What they actually need is somebody to help them move their local accounting firm to an online accounting firm. So you can help them build their funnel. So put funnel here, that's a terrible F. Help them build their funnel. You can help build their online presence. Maybe they start on like a personal brand, and you can help them deliver, like, drive traffic. That would be fake. That could be Facebook ads, or it could be TikTok ads. You get the point, is what I'm trying to say. But what you're doing here is completely different to everybody else, because you're picking the niche and identifying what they're struggling with first, which might be their local business, and they want to move their business online. Then what you do is you figure out, okay, cool, well, if that's their problem, I can offer some sort of service that helps accountants take their local business online. And now what you're doing is you're starting to think more two-dimensionally. You're thinking two-dimensionally, because that's actually how you actually start thinking as a proper business owner. You don't just grab Facebook ads and throw it down a niche's throat. You don't do that. So that's how you pick a niche. And the way how you do this is you set what you call a hypothesis. The first thing you do, you set a hypothesis. You set a hypothesis, like a science experiment. Then what you do is you actually go and do the research into the niche, AKA you do what you call first-hand research. And again, this is all taught inside of Agency Transmutation, guys. This is my online program. If you want help with this, not to plug it, but this is why people are getting results. This is why we've got over 300 and something results. Imagine walking into a door one time. That could be a mistake. Imagine walking into a door 2 times. That's still a mistake, very clumsy you. 3 times is getting a little bit iffy. If you was to walk into a door 300 plus times, you definitely need to seek medical help. That's not a fluke at that point. We've got over 300 and something results from age transmutation. That is not a fluke. Imagine crashing a car 300 times and being like, oh yeah, it's just I'm just an asparagus, it's a fluke. Blame it on my star sign, I'm an asparagus. I seen that meme the other day. But long story short, guys, you want to do first-hand research into the actual niche to figure out what their pain problems are. Then you want to supply Susie, you want to give Susie what Susie wants for lunch, aka Susie might tell you, well, I'm an accountant, I really want my business to be moved from a local business because we're just operating in a local vicinity right now, and I want to move that online, but we don't know how to. There you go. Now you've just figured out that your service or your solution, your solution is your service, by the way, should be helping accountants take their business online. That's how you come up with an actual niche and a service. That's how you do it, guys. You go to the niche first, set an hypothesis, don't even know what they need help with, but I'm just going to pick accountants right now, figure out what their pain problems are, and you ask them, what are your pain problems? You literally ask the niche. Nobody does this though. Everybody wants to skip this, and everybody just takes what the guru is saying on YouTube videos and just runs with it, which is why nobody's building successful agencies. Anywho, let's talk about the actual niches now. So now that we've got the actual we've got the criteria down. Then we've got the methodology on how to pick a niche. Now let me actually just give you some niches that you can actually start with as a beginner. Again, as a beginner, I recommend staying away from e-commerce if you're going to do Facebook ads for them. Now, e-commerce is a good niche. It's just that it's difficult to get into if you are a beginner. Key phrase being, if you are a beginner. I don't want that dude in the comment section saying I got successful e-commerce, because I actually technically did. It's one of the most successful niches I ever jumped into. But long story short, if you are going to get into e-commerce, please do something outside of the box, like do UGC. I would do UGC if I was you guys. If you, I don't know why that was so difficult to type. UGC, user generated content, or I would do short form content for them. I would not do Facebook ads. I don't know what it is, but me personally, I really despise Facebook ads. Honestly, guys, I really do despise Facebook ads. But e-commerce is still a growing industry. It's just that everybody and their uncle is trying to bombard them with Facebook ads or email marketing. Do something different, like user generated content, short form content, or help them build personal brands. There you go. So that's one niche. Number two, my actual like genuinely niche that I do recommend. Again, I don't recommend this if you're a beginner. Ecom, don't recommend it if you're a beginner. I do recommend though, online personal brands, aka people kind of like me that have coaching businesses or they have online programs, and you can help them with their personal branding. And what you can do is you can either do their YouTube video editing for them, or you can do short form content video editing for them, or you can even do appointment setting for these guys. Appointment setting for these guys. Or you could just genuinely run ads for these guys if you know what you're doing when it comes to ads. Again, in 2023, I'd probably stay away from running ads. Honestly, it's just everybody's just trying to run Facebook ads. Honestly, guys, I would do something different outside the box and start thinking 2D, two-dimensionally, aka start setting appointments for online coaches. There you go. Or even build funnels. You can build funnels for, or even case or VS, what you call VSLs. X out of that. Video sales letters for online coaches. There you go. There's a really cool niche. I'll give you another really cool niche. Elderly homes. The reason why this is a very good niche is because you're doing lead gen for them, and you can use Google ads. Not only that, but these people in elderly homes are paying a lot of money per month for these kind of like facilities. So elderly homes are where people, you put your elderly in like a, not foster care. I don't know why foster care came into mind, but it's like a assisted living quarters, basically. You obviously, when people get old, they need to be looked after, cared for. People get dementia and all these horrible diseases like Parkinson's disease. So there's homes out there for the elderly, where the elderly have to go into these homes and they get taken care of. And especially over in America, where the actual healthcare stuff is not free and stuff like that. And over here in the UK, there's more like the government pays for it and whatnot, and there's government backings and stuff like that. But over in America, like, you have to pay big bucks for these homes. So getting them just one client basically will pay for your entire retainer. So if you're charging these guys, I don't know, 2.5k a month to help them with their Google ads, for example, and you get them one friggin' client, customer, whatever you want to call them, or elderly person, you're gonna pay for your entire service back from one client that you bring them. So this is why this right here ticks all of the boxes for me. Elderly population is growing. It doesn't really take long to actually convert one of these people. The industry is not dying. They're high ticket. So it basically ticks all the criteria that we mentioned above. So I would definitely definitely jump into this particular niche. The fourth niche I would actually jump into if I was a beginner would be local businesses. Now let me explain why I say local businesses. Local businesses are like real estate agents, gyms, chiropractors, home remodeling, that sort of stuff. The reason why I'd actually recommend this is because of the cough. I'm not going to mention I'm not going to try to get this video demonetized or anything like that, but you know what happened to the globe, and it kind of like shut down. So everybody and their uncle ran over to the e-commerce niche, and then they oversaturated it. Well, I wouldn't say oversaturated, but everybody started jumping in there and offering the same thing, which was Facebook ads to that. But as people ran over to the e-commerce space, local businesses started to get neglected. Not only that's one point. The second point is because of the cough as well, these local businesses now started realizing like, oh shit, our online marketing was never as strong as we wanted it to be. This cough has shown us, it rumbled our business, it ruffled our feathers, and it showed us that like, oh shit, that like our business is not as solid as we thought it would be. We definitely need to do more in terms of the online marketing space. So you can offer them, online marketing or online digital marketing. There you go. So that's two reasons why. Number one is everybody ran to e-com and forgot about local businesses. So everybody's all in e-com now, and everybody's like, not really focusing on local businesses. Number two is that because of the cough, the business owners in these particular niches realize that their business is not as solid as they thought it was, and now they're actually starting to kick themselves and be like, oh shit, we actually do need to take a better consideration or think more about doing our online marketing. And the third reason is, I know for beginners, lead gen is so much simpler than doing Facebook ads and doing what you call conversion ads. Conversion ads are very difficult. Actually, getting someone to pull out their credit card and stuff like that. Especially if you're gonna pair lead gen with some sort of follow-up system. For example, you not only just generate the leads for a gym business, but you also have a follow-up system that's automatic to book appointments on calls, which then turn into actual customers. If you compare that, that's literally what you call an irresistible offer, especially if you've got a guarantee. That's gonna definitely help you stand out. And the fifth kind of niche I've actually found that's really, really good is travel and kind of like hospitality, like hotels, travel, tourism, that sort of thing. Again, another reason for this, the reason why I say this is because of the cough again. The whole globe was shut down. Nobody was traveling. Now everybody's got the travel book. Even I've got the travel book. I want to go flying out. I'm actually going to Amsterdam not too long. I've already booked 2 holidays this year. It's literally January. I've already booked 2 holidays. Like that, I normally go on 2 holidays every 5 years because I'm just sitting here working, because I really love just being in my office, sitting here working. I've already booked 2 holidays. So I can tell you right now, like hotels, Airbnbs, travel, flights, that sort of stuff is what I'm trying to say. And again, that would be lead gen. You could generate leads for them, or you can even do Facebook ads for them. But again, I really honestly want you guys to think outside of the box. Facebook ads is so played out. There's so many different things to offer, which leads me on to my next point. The sixth and final niche you guys should be focusing on is other agencies. I don't know why I just typed that completely backwards, but other marketing agencies. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of people are just thinking you only have to do Facebook ads or like TikTok ads or like email marketing. And the reason for that, guys, is because you guys are listening too much to this acronym right here, SMMA, social media marketing. A social media marketing agency is what you call a service-based business. That's all it is. Service-based business encompasses SMMA. So a service-based business is just a business that provides a service on behalf of another business. That's all SMMA is. If you forget the word SMMA for a minute, and you think about starting a service-based business instead, it opens up a plethora of other services for you that you can provide online. AKA, you can offer outreach services to other agencies. One of the reasons why this is a really good niche, guys, is because a lot of you guys ask me, Lel Montel, is SMMA oversaturated? I would say yes, it's starting to get a little bit saturated because everybody and their uncle start trying to start an SMMA. And then they immediately go kind of like, the brain just shuts down and they're like, oh, well, I'm not starting an SMA then, blah, 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 blah. I guess I'll just start dropshipping instead. And I'm there like, bro, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. You can literally offer services to the people that are making SMA oversaturated. AKA, because everybody's trying to start an agency, it's a gold rush now to start an agency. So instead of selling gold, why don't you just sell the shovel? Sell the shovel. AKA agencies, and one of the main things they struggle with is outreach. So what you can do is you can start an agency that does outreach for other agencies and charge them on a monthly fee. You can charge them a monthly fee to bring them a certain number of appointments. You can do this, guys. Anybody can start this at any moment in time. And you're still running an agency. It's just that you're now thinking in the terms of a service-based business instead of social media marketing agency. Service-based businesses, honestly, in 2023 are the things that are going to take off. Big tick for those. These are going to take off. There's a little up arrow there for you guys. These are going to take off because a service is just providing a service on behalf of another business or another person. That's all that is, guys. So I want you guys to think about that. There's lots of different services. For example, online personalities like personal branding. Another service you can offer them is literally helping them take their coaching program, their one-to-one coaching program, and turning it into an online course by helping them build out the actual slides for their modules, helping them build their funnel, and then helping them put maybe a webinar in place to get customers. There you go. You could probably charge 10K for this. I am not even joking. You could probably charge 10K for this. I didn't have like a monthly recurring fee for that. I'm not joking. But most of you aren't thinking like this, because all you're thinking about is this word here, social media marketing. Forget social media marketing for now and think about service-based businesses, SBBs, service-based business. Anyway, guys, I hope this is actually, valuable for you guys. If you've enjoyed this, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. That's all I ask for these free YouTube videos. And again, if you guys are interested in enrolling to age traumatization, helping you build out your service-based business, or helping you build out your own agency, I talk about all of that kind of in age traumatization, especially when it comes to starting your agency and then moving that agency into a service-based business, because I mention a lot of different niches in there as well. I help you pick your niche and come up with your offer. The link is below to enroll into that. Last but not least, guys, like I said, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.